BookTube. It's Christine. I'm gonna do my Friday reads and my what I'm reading this weekend. Or wow, Friday reads and a library book haul. So, uh, I'm also wanting to. I filmed this already, and I figured nope. I didn't like how I sounded, so I'm gonna redo it. I wanted to say one thing. I can't imagine what people of color are going through right now. Um, I really sincerely think that in 2020, this shit should still not be going on. It should be everybody is equal, and um, it's an atrocity. It really is. Um, there's not much I can say. My heart goes out to them. Having said that, um, I noticed a lot of people apologizing for not reading um, minority. And I really don't like that word because nobody's a minority in my book. Everybody's equal, so there shouldn't be minorities, and I'm not even going to get into that. But um, I do read books of um, from people of color, of different race, different sex, different gender, everything. I only read books that I'm interested in reading. So if the premise catches me, I'm going to pick up the book to read. If the premise doesn't catch me, I either let somebody convince me it's worth a read, or I don't read it. The author and their color, their race, their gender, their sexuality has no bearing on whether I read it or not. So I have a ton of Brenda Jackson books. Um, one of my favorite movies, and I think I like the movie better than the book, but it was The Color Purple by Alice Walker. I think that's the name of it. So yeah, I read what I want to read based on the story, not the author, if that makes sense. So I think that came across a little bit better. I went on a little bit of a rant and tangent, so not so much a tangent, but not as good of an explanation. Sorry. Tea. So, anyways, on that note, here is my Friday reads and my library book. So, I can already tell this is dated. This is Wheat Belly by William Davis, MD. And if you didn't know, I had type 2 diabetes, and I was diagnosed 2 years ago. And a year ago, I had more blood tests, and it came back that I had reversed it. So, and there's no sign of borderline diabetes, nothing in my blood. So that's great. Now just to get the weight off. But that's why I'm reading this. Not so much to follow it wholeheartedly. I already know that wheat and bread and dough affect me badly. I haven't been tested for celiac, but I already know I have what they think is gluten sensitivity. So I can eat like a sandwich a day or 2 pieces of toast at breakfast. But that's it. I can't have any more or else I flare up. Like breaded chicken? No. So I'm just reading this just for like to see. My former doctor years ago had recommended it. So there's that. And then I'm reading Rita Mae Brown and Sneaky Pie Brown, Cat on the Scent. This seems to be a little bit different than her previous books in this series. I think this is book 5. It doesn't say. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. This is book 7. And it just seems to be darker. I'm already like a quarter of the way through, and nobody's died yet. But anyways, so this is about people fighting over wanting to increase the water availability in their township, county, and other people not wanting that to happen because they don't want the population to increase. And then we have talk of Civil War enactments, because this takes place in Virginia. And I think that's when somebody dies, is when they're at the enactment. And I'm reading, like, right in there. So the reason I'm saying this is different is because of the animals. There's Mrs. Murphy, which is a tabby cat. Tucker, that is a corgi dog. And Pewter, who is a Russian blue, pretty much, cat. And Mrs. Murphy seems to be more insulting than this one. There's usually a lot of banter between the three animals, and they are always insulting Pewter because Pewter's lazy and just wants to eat and sit in the sun. But Mrs. Murphy seems to be a lot more mean in this one, so we shall see. And then I'm reading Amazing Gracie by Cheryl Woods. This is about a woman who used to be or was working in a high-end hotel in France, and the new CEO has come in and decided to try and save some money, so some things have been cut back, and she figures that all their customers want the best, and if the CEO is not willing to give the best, then she's not willing to work there, so she leaves. Sorry, tickle. So she picks this place in Virginia again, and I can't remember if her family used to go there or she just picked it off, a dot on the map. But she sees this house, and she wants to buy it to turn it into a B&B, and the new owner does not want to sell it, and she wonders why can't you sell it to me? She's very high maintenance. She's very high and mighty. I'm not liking her that much, just because I don't get along with people who think that because they have money and they've worked in high-end places that they are better than people. So there's that. And now I just went to the library this morning, did a curbside pickup because that's the only way they're open, and I picked up 4 books, and one of them is my Chapters Recommends, and that is the book that you can do 10 points a day, which is you can pick books from your recommended list. You can leave reviews and a few other things. I'm only doing 1 a month reading. I go through a list almost every day and pick, because every day it updates. If you've made a choice off the recommends, whether you've read it, you liked it, or you didn't like it, and so things change. But I finally picked 1 book for this month because I was kind of stumped on what I was going to read because the library was closed. So I'll get to that in a few minutes. I picked up Pawing Through the Past by Rita Mae Brown and Sneaky Pie Brown. This is book 8 in the series, and they're starting to get a little thicker. Not so much, about the same size. And then I didn't know if I was going to pick this up or not ever, and it was there. I figured, why not? It's To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and it's book 1 in the Lara Jean series. Lara Jean. I think everybody knows what this one's about, but YA, light and fluffy. It is what it is. Same for this, not so much light and fluffy, but it's YA, and it's We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I've been trying to grab this for a while. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, so I figured I'd pick it up for myself. And the book that I've decided to do for my Chapters Recommends is Recursion by Blake Crouch. Oh, excuse me. I just know it's science fiction-ish. Maybe a little paranormal, not sure. But I was gonna grab Dark Matter, but I don't think it was available. And I've heard this one's not as good as Dark Matter, so I figured I'd go with this one first anyways. So there's that. So that is my library book haul and my Friday reads. Let me know if you guys have read any of these, what you thought of them. And oh, another thing, somebody had commented that they got here before I hit 600 subscribers. And I don't know if YouTube did its little thing or if it's because I took a break, but I lost over 200 subscribers. I was close to 800 subscribers and I'm under 600. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, but it sucks. It really does. But I'm not here for subscribers. I'm here to talk about books anyways. So, and hopefully soon, my daughter will be moving out August 1st, probably. She will be 18, close to the end of August. She graduates from grade 12 this year. My son graduates from grade 8 next week. So he will be moving into her old room. My crafting stuff will move into his old room. And then I will finally maybe be able to sit in front of bookshelves instead of my machines. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Not that I really want her to move out. Like, we don't. But it is what it is. We're not going to fight it. We're not going to go there. So I will talk to you guys later. Let me know if you guys have read any of these, and I will. And hopefully you have a good weekend.